Hi Jolee, this is Shammi with Southtown Chrysler. Here is the long-awaited walk-around video, okay? So this is the beautiful 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited that we chatted about with 137,750 on the odometer. Really nice vehicle. So obviously I had this one washed. It's really clean inside and out, and at the same time, obviously being a Grand Cherokee, I don't know if you've ever driven one before, but they are rock solid. They feel very obviously tough on the road, and honestly the best kind of adjective I would use is maybe sure-footed. So it kind of feels very solid and planted on the ground. So it's a really nice, enjoyable drive, and I really like driving this one on the lot as well. So here's a little walk around for you. So here is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Now this one particularly is in really nice shape. Just gonna zoom back here, but you do get some nice fog lights on this one in the front end as well. Obviously your nice headlights, and let me turn those on for you. Alrighty, so there you go, there are your headlights on. Now these do have the halogen lights. Now I will tell you that a lot of our customers do like to upgrade these lights, and it's relatively easy to do so in the parts department with some aftermarket LED kits, so you can kind of get those front lights really bright. But the whole front end is very clean. Like obviously being a 14, you'd expect that you know, it might have quite a bit of rock chips and whatnot, but not really. I just see one little small pebble-sized dent right there, if you can see it. And then other than that, on this one side here, you got just one little scuff just on the passenger side, and there's one little small one right there as well. I'm hoping the light, there we go, that's a little bit better. Alrighty. Now I don't know if you're aware, by the way, this is just a little, you know, FYI, when it comes to that grille, you notice that every Jeep will have those 7 slots on the grille. And that actually relates to the 7 continents on the planet. So it really gives you an idea of kind of what this vehicle is about and kind of where it can go, right? So being the Limited, this does have some nice upgraded rims as well. And I'm actually going to see if I can just clean that camera just a little bit. Perfect. This one does have some nice Bridgestone Dueler tires, and these are winters as well. So there is quite a bit of tread on here as well. It's kind of hard to pick up with the snow on there, but at the end of the day, they do handle very well. And just so you have an idea, when it comes to the side angle, there was only really one little small little blemish that I see right there. Other than that though, it is pretty clean. Now you do get some parking sensors in the back. This does have the dual exhaust. On top of that as well, obviously you will have your backup camera, your rear wiper blade there. But when it comes to the key fob does have your remote car starter built in, as well as having the power tailgate. So nice little power tailgate in the Limited, obviously kind of help with the ease of access. In the back here as well, obviously you will notice you do have quite a bit of space. You have a nice little subwoofer in the back as well. So this vehicle does have a wicked sound system. And there is your power tailgate button right there. Now it does have some nice hooks here, and honestly a lot of my customers use those for groceries. Kind of, you know, keeps things nice in line in the back here. Now when it comes to the rear here, you will notice that you do have your spare tire. It's not going to be a full-size spare, but you do also obviously have your jack and tools. All right, now let me just shut this one really quick. Now just so you know, that second row though, you can fold down, and essentially it does have some nice padding on the back too. Let me just wipe that down, sorry. It does have some padding on the back as well, just to kind of make sure you have a nice flat surface. The rear seats, nice, wide, very comfortable. Obviously they are reclinable, as you can see on this side here. You do have your cup holders as well. Now the nice thing about the Limited, obviously you get that nice big sunroof. In the back as well, you do get heated seats, USBs, and also a proper plug-in. So I don't know if you have a laptop or anything that you're using as well. But overall, just obviously very nice, user-friendly. Now you will notice on the Limited, you get a lot of nice chrome detail. Now this one particularly has the smart access because it is a push button ignition. So all you have to do is press that button to get in and out of the vehicle. Now your side mirrors as well, just so you know, they are going to be heated. And your front windows are auto up and down. And then you do also have a power passenger seat as well as a power driver's seat. Now when it comes to the leather, I did not notice any kind of rips and tears. And on another note as well, when it comes to the interior, it does not smell like it was smoked in. That's one thing I always make sure to kind of note. Now when it comes to the side as well here, you will notice that you do have memory setting for 2 passengers on this driver's seat. Okay, so if you're driving and you have another associate or another spouse or anyone who's driving the vehicle as well, it's really nice to know that you can kind of both have your own settings. Now you do have your power driver's seat as well. You have very little minimal wear here, but again, no rips, no tears or anything like that. All right. Okay, whew. It's a little chilly today. So the headliner itself, again, is in great shape. There's no rips, no tears, no kind of excessive damage or anything like that as well. Now under here you do have, sorry, let me move these keys. You do also have SD slot, your auxiliary and USB, and also another nice plug-in. Kind of tuck that away right in there. Now there's my little morning coffee to get going. But overall, just when you're looking at the center stack, it's very just nice, very simple, and at the same time, obviously very usable, right? So it's kind of nice to know that, you know, Jeep doesn't miss the little details. Like a lot of manufacturers will go to the, you know, when it comes to your climate screens, they kind of get rid of the buttons. But obviously when it comes to the Jeep, I mean, these vehicles, reliability, dependability is a really big thing, right? So not only do you want to have those abilities to control the climate when it comes to the touchscreen, but in case, you know, with any vehicle, obviously Jeep doesn't want to just rely on the fact that you would have to use a touchscreen. They want to actually give you physical buttons, right? So obviously, again, it kind of goes to the Jeep nameplate and kind of what it's known for. Now when it comes to the steering wheel, it is a nice leather wrap steering wheel. It is heated as well, just so you know. So heated steering wheel, heated seats on the front end passenger side, and you also get a power mirror dimmer, which is really nice. So if someone has super bright lights behind you in one of those nice lifted trucks we get in Alberta, it's nice to know that obviously you can hit that button and you'll automatically have that dim, so it doesn't blind you, right? Now on the steering wheel itself, you will notice you do get some paddle shifters if you do want to do some spirited driving, and the really easy thing to do is just pop it down into the sport mode, and essentially you can manually control the gears yourself. You do have your Bluetooth hands-free, your cruise control as well, and the nicest thing is you get this really nice LCD screen in the middle here. I typically like to run it on the digital speedometer, but again, you can customize it, different options, different menus, so it's really nice. And again, if you know, you're familiar with Mercedes-Benz, even the actual the levers and overall just the design there, even with those orange tachometer little tabs, it's very Mercedes-like. And the reason being is when this vehicle was made, this 2014, Jeep had a partnership still with Daimler Chrysler, which obviously is you know, part of Mercedes-Benz. So what you actually find is this vehicle was built alongside some really nice Mercedes, right? So when you're talking about build quality, when you're talking about the solidity of the vehicle itself, I mean, this one definitely does stand out pretty big. Now the nice thing on this one as well, obviously, is you do have your navigation. Okay, so this does have your factory navigation, and it is, again, nice touchscreen. Now the cool thing is, depending on where you're driving, I'm actually just adjacent to the road back there, so it's actually giving me the speed limit, and that's a really nice touch, right? So if you do get any speeding tickets, you know, I know you can kind of try to tell the police officer or the peace officer that, you know what, hey, I didn't know, but you know what, if he kind of looks at your screen here, you might want to turn it off, because they'll be able to tell right away that, you know, there's no excuse, okay? You have your speed limit right there. Now you do also obviously have that nice push button ignition. Now you do also have your backup camera. And when it comes to your sensors, this is where it will display. So you'll kind of get some bars and some audible notifications when you are getting too close. Now the nice thing about this backup camera as well is you'll notice that it is adaptive. So when I do turn my steering wheel, the lines do move. Oops, sorry. The lines do move. And that middle portion right there is actually just to line up a hitch. So just in case you are doing any towing or anything like that, it just kind of makes it a little bit easier for you to not even have to get out of the vehicle to do that lineup when it comes to any kind of towing. Okay. Now, when it comes to the glove box, again, it is nice that you have a dual glove box. Now, don't mind if this one has a little bit of dirt in here. Obviously, these vehicles, they will get test driven. We do a light clean on them. Obviously, a nice little quick on the lot clean when these vehicles first arrive. But when a vehicle is sold, obviously we do a full comprehensive complete detail front to back. Obviously we would want to make sure that when you are driving this vehicle around and visiting your friends, that they know that obviously you got a great vehicle, and hey, where'd you get that sweet vehicle from? Well, guess what, we got it from Mr. Shammi at Southtown Chrysler, and they cleaned the heck out of it. Okay, so let's go for a nice little test drive on the lot. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. And one nice thing to note as well, obviously, is the eco mode is on. So when it comes to this vehicle, I feel like it does have some different personalities, right? So when you have an eco mode, essentially what it's going to do is help kind of gear the transmission in line for that optimal fuel efficiency. And it kind of helps when it comes to especially when you're doing a lot of long distance highway driving, when you don't necessarily need that kind of I guess that really peppy power, you know what I mean, when you don't kind of need to be on it all the time. It's nice to know you can pop it in the eco mode. Now, other than that though, one thing that kind of is going to be the standout compared with a lot of options is going to be your trail select, or your terrain select, sorry. On this one, it is in the auto setting right now. You do have a solid four-wheel drive low setting, your hill descent control, but the nice thing is you also do have your snow, sand, mud, and rock modes. Now, when you do pop it in the snow mode, it is really nice, and the first thing you'll notice is D2. Okay, so obviously when you are in the snow mode, when you are coming off from a stoplight, you don't necessarily need to be starting in your first gear where, you know, you have that higher torque and obviously that bigger push, because that's usually going to deal with some slippage, right? So that's some of the stuff that kind of differentiates once you start playing around with the selector. But to be quite honest with you, when it comes to the auto setting, it really is your kind of set it and forget it perfect setting when it comes to these vehicles. Like I'll be very, very upfront that most people will not exploit, you know, the capability that you have in the Grand Cherokee. You know, obviously it's no secret, not everyone's going to be taking it off-roading, etc. But it is nice to know that, you know, if the conditions do change, you get that snowstorm come in, you know, you kind of need that additional traction in an unknown kind of scenario. It's nice to know that you have that capability, even in a nice fully loaded luxury one like the Limited as well here. But overall, when it comes to the drive, it's very, very smooth. I mean, at the end of the day, it's we do got some bumpy little icy roads here right now, but it's very smooth. But again, you know, as I mentioned before, it feels very solid. It feels very kind of planted to the road. You know, just almost like a little Jeep tank, you know. But when it comes to the power as well, this does have our Pentastar V6 engine, and it's a very, very reliable engine. It's been around for quite a bit of time, so kind of at this point it is almost like our bread and butter when it comes to our lineup, not only in the Grand Cherokee but all across the lineup, right? So we do also carry this the same engine in our Jeep Wranglers, oops, in our Chrysler Pacificas, in our Dodge Rams. You know, so over and over, I mean, you look at any of these vehicles, even our Dodge Chargers, or Dodge Challengers, or Jeep Gladiators. Obviously, this engine has been around. It's gotten great reviews. And obviously, with kind of the time frame of you know, kind of how long it's been in the Dodge and Jeep world, it's at this point, obviously, very, very bulletproof, reliable. Now, here is a vehicle, like, I really hope you liked it when it comes to my walk around. One thing I did want to note that I just noticed here was it does have one little small crack on this side, okay? But other than that, I mean, it's a really nice vehicle, especially on the price point. If you look when it comes to the Grand Cherokees, they definitely do hold their value very strong. But at the end of the day, you know what, Jolee? You're the person who's going to be driving this vehicle. So, you know, stuff like that little windshield, if that ends up being something that, you know what, Shammi, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't have that replaced. Well, guess what? All you got to do is let me know. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's my job to make sure, you know, number one, we find the perfect vehicle for you, and obviously make it affordable, right? And make it kind of well suited and exactly how you want it when you do drive off the lot. And hopefully if you do drive off the lot in this thing. But again, I really hope you like the walk around video, Jolee. Shammi again from Southtown Chrysler. I will be in the office today till about 8 p.m. this evening, so pretty much the full day, hence the coffee in the center there. But I absolutely would love to show you this vehicle, test drive it. And again, I know you're sick at home. I really hope you feel better. And you know, it's one of those things, I like to make things super convenient and obviously thorough. So I always find these walk around videos kind of help give a nice little perspective on what this vehicle is, and obviously if it is to your liking, if everything makes sense, all you have to do is let me know. And you know what, Shammi, let's look at some numbers, let's look at what some payments look like, and I'd be more than happy to work those out for you over the phone. And we could even possibly secure this vehicle if you were comfortable over the phone as well, and just make it obviously subject to your viewing and test drive, because I mean, I wouldn't expect yourself or even myself, I would never buy a vehicle without at least test driving and viewing the vehicle. So it is a subject to, but at the same time, it kind of helps secure this one, pop it on the side, just to make sure that you don't lose out on a nice opportunity, right? But thanks so much again, Jolee. Shammi from Southtown Chrysler. I absolutely hope you feel better, and I really do appreciate your time and consideration. Thank you so much. Bye now.